a U.S. soldier who survived enemy bullets in Iraq and Afghanistan, who took part in dangerous military missions, who carried wounded teammates out of the battlefield alive. That same fearless U.S. Army Ranger later said something that gave people chills. He said, "I saw humans during war, but in those woods in Montana, I saw something that I still can't explain to this day." And then he said something else. "If my truck hadn't started that night, I probably wouldn't be alive today." Today's story is based on mysterious American forest encounters, the kind that many hikers, campers, and even former rangers have made strange claims about. And if you travel alone at night, then believe me, this story will make you feel uneasy until the very end. This is the story of Daniel Carter, a former U.S. Army Ranger, a man his teammates called fearless. Daniel had been part of many dangerous military operations in Iraq and Afghanistan. He survived explosions, faced deadly ambushes, and came back from the edge of death more times than he could count. But after the war ended, Daniel began to change. He became quiet. He would suddenly wake up in the middle of the night, and sometimes he felt like someone was constantly watching him. Doctors advised him to spend some time in nature to recover from severe stress and military trauma. So during the winter of 2017, Daniel decided to spend a few days camping alone in an isolated forest in Montana. What he didn't know was that something else might have been waiting for him in those woods. On a cold October night, Daniel was driving his pickup truck down a forest road. Tall trees surrounded him. A thin layer of fog drifted through the woods, and for miles, there was complete silence. The nearest town was almost 2 hours away, and phone signal had disappeared long ago. But places like this never scared Daniel. Army training had taught him survival. He had a military flashlight, a hunting knife, an emergency radio, a pistol, and an automatic rifle. Around 9 at night, he reached an old lake where campers usually stayed. But that night, something felt wrong. The entire area was completely empty. No campers, no fire, no voices, just cold wind, and the sound of trees, forest. A sound that didn't sound human or even animal. Daniel's military training instantly shifted into survival mode. He pulled out his pistol and started scanning the area, and he saw it, the same dark figure, standing between the trees again. This time, much closer. Daniel shouted a warning. "Stop right there." But the only response was heavy breathing. The next second, Daniel pulled the trigger. The bullet went straight toward the figure's chest. But nothing happened. No movement, no blood, no scream. The figure just stood there silently. Daniel froze for a moment. That was impossible. He was a medal-winning shooter. His aim did not miss. He fired again, then a third time, then a fourth. But every shot felt like it passed straight through the figure. And then, the thing slowly started laughing. A laugh that did not sound human. At that moment, for the first time in his life, Daniel Carter felt real fear. Because he had seen enemies during war, but he had never seen something that bullets had no effect on. Daniel tried to convince himself, maybe the darkness is affecting my aim. Maybe I'm panicking, but deep down, he already knew that the thing standing in front of him was not human. He immediately grabbed the automatic rifle from the back of the truck. The rain was now pouring heavily. The wind violently shook the trees, and the figure slowly started moving toward him. Daniel opened full automatic fire. Gunfire echoed through the entire forest. But seconds later, Daniel's hands began to shake, because the thing was still standing there, completely unharmed, and now even closer than before. Then suddenly, the figure stopped moving, and a strange smile appeared on its face. Daniel's blood ran cold, because in that moment, he realized He was the only human in those woods. No backup, no signal, no help. Then suddenly, something breathed heavily right behind him. Daniel instantly turned around, but there was nothing there. Now his flashlight started blinking. Once, twice. It completely died. The entire forest was now swallowed by pitch black darkness. Only Daniel's heavy breathing, the sound of rain, and footsteps moving around him. Then he heard scratching sounds beneath the truck, like something was crawling underneath it. Daniel quickly bent down, but all he saw were two white reflective eyes staring back at him. He screamed and stumbled backward before jumping into the truck. First time turning the ignition, the engine was dead. Second try, only a clicking sound. Third try, suddenly the truck started. Daniel immediately sped away. The rain was so heavy that the road was barely visible. He kept looking into the rear view mirror, and then, standing in the middle of the road, he saw the same figure again. It stood there silently, its reflective eyes locked directly onto him. Daniel swerved the truck at full speed and escaped the forest. Around 5 in the morning, he reached the nearest ranger station. By then, his hands were shaking uncontrollably. An old ranger listened quietly to his entire story. Then slowly, the ranger asked, "Did you see its eyes?" Daniel froze, because he had never mentioned the eyes to the ranger. Then the ranger revealed something terrifying. For years, hikers had mysteriously disappeared from that same forest area. Some came back, but their mental state was never normal again. And almost all of them said the same thing. At night, something watches us from between the trees. But now the question is, what exactly was that shadow? Was it really something dangerous? Or was it some mysterious presence that never actually wanted to hurt anyone? Daniel's camera never fully captured the figure. Only a dark shadow, a black shape, standing silently between the trees. Some people believe that shadow waits for certain people. Others say it secretly watches anyone who enters the forest, trying to get closer, as if it wants to say something. But the moment humans become afraid and attack it, it disappears, leaving behind only one warning: leave. And maybe that's why Daniel survived that night. Because if that thing had truly wanted to kill him, he probably never would have made it out of that forest alive. But what do you think? Was that shadow really a supernatural presence? Or did fear, darkness, and isolation play tricks on the mind of a trained soldier? Be sure to share your theory in the comments, because maybe your explanation could finally solve this terrifying mystery.